So when you look at a guy with all the skill sets, the mic skills, the in ring skills, and everything else, and the package, you
Yeah.
think, man, this guy can't get a break.
Like, it's just, and that's the other aspect that everybody's going to be going up against too, is there is so many talent and there's so many names out there that how does one certain one feel special? How do you make that feel special? And that not only comes down to the person itself, but how you're promoted and booked and stuff like that too. And the competition, it's a big fit, lots of fish in a big pond too at the same time.
Well, you look at Karrion Kross and his wife. They're like two mega talented individuals working for the biggest organization on the planet, and somebody saw something in them to bring them back, but they're still not being put in any needle moving type position, and her personality has not been utilized in any way, shape, or form at all. And so when you look at a guy with all the skill sets, the mic skills, the in ring skills, and everything else, and the package, you think, man, this guy can't get a break.
Yeah,
That's got to make you check your whole card and say, what makes me think they're gonna? What is it about me that makes me going to be so marketably different that they're gonna? Somebody's going to put a rocket on my rear end and give me a chance.
Right. Karrion Kross, he's awesome. I love him, and I think he's got a good look. They're giving the moments he's taking, he's making the most of. But yeah, it's like that. They're a 1-2 punch carrying Scarlett together.
It looks like they're going in a direction with him and Sami Zayn,
which I think should be good, and hopefully that will be the moment where they break out.
But like TA says, this guy's got a lot of talent, and they're not utilizing it.
Right.
And I don't know. Back in the day, it was some promoters just didn't like a personality, and they wouldn't push him, even though they could probably make him money, or they didn't know how to utilize him to make him money. And maybe that's what's happening with Kross, that they don't know what to do with him or how to do it.
Well, without the arena business part of the equation in the model, you could utilize. I mean, the Crockett's had 200 guys working just for them.
Wow.
In the 80s, I mean, 200 wrestlers on board just for the Crockett's. So, you say, oh well, and then you look at the hours of television, but when you translate all those bodies into arena, in 2 and 3 different arenas a night, and you're telling stories in the arena that you're programming to come back in and carry on, it doesn't take much of a little zip on television to keep it ignited for them to want to go back and see the rest of the story in the arena. But now that they play it all out in this airtime thing, is cut down all those opportunities to, probably come back full circle for Solid, because somebody in their brilliance will say, gee, we could be generating, X, Y, and Z, and making it where you got to come to the building to find out what happens next, because we're not going to tell it to you on television.
Yeah.
Or tell you about it after the fact, and you're going to be ticked off that you didn't go down there where you could have seen it happen live. Wow, what a concept.
You know what? To that point too, you think about how society and civilization is right now when it comes to, hey, everybody, it's so easy access. Everything's at your fingertips. You can go and watch and check it out on television, see it all, cover it all. You don't have to leave your home. Well, I think human nature is human interaction. So eventually, at some point or another, people are going to be wanting to go get an experience. And I think we're kind of seeing that a little bit with concerts now too. It's like, that's getting a little bit more, I think, more eyes on it, promotion, people going out to shows and stuff like that and getting that more experience. So I think that's a really great point. You could definitely see that happening, I think, with wrestling especially. But yeah, somebody's got to be on the ball at having reasonable ticket prices. Get ahead of that game first.
For sure.
Yeah.